Okay, hello everyone that is watching yet another client interview here. You are with Noor. If you're not familiar with who I am, I run the operations side of EasyGrow, and today I'm joined by yet another one of our amazing clients, who is another silent shark I like to call, because I didn't see any wins from this guy, and he just popped out the blue recently, actually stopping a meeting, come to halt when we saw the win. And he's absolutely crushed it, not just with the program, but with our recent launch of our mastermind, which he can share some insights on how we repackage his offer by leveraging that as well. But yeah, he's done extremely well with our programs, and we're gonna interview him today. So Otavio, appreciate you joining me. Obviously, we've spoken just before this, but for the people watching, why don't you introduce, who you are, who you serve, and the transformation you deliver to your clients?
Gotcha. Yeah, appreciate it, Noor. So my name is Otavio Zerbini, and I currently run an offer where we help essentially experts online build and monetize their personal brand. So myself and my partner scaled his personal brand to like over 1 million followers. He used to be a soccer coach, a football coach, and he scaled up his brand. And then basically what we realized is a lot of other creators wanted to be able to do the same thing because now he obviously was able to do the kind of social media thing full time. And then I was busy helping other creators be able to more monetize that side of the audience, that side of things essentially. And then I was like, okay, what if I kind of got him to come in and teach how to build the brand, and then I gave my systems to be able to monetize it. I think that would be pretty interesting, and I think people would be interested in that. And obviously, yeah, we'll dive into this story, but as to how that offer came up, but that's roughly the
Yeah.
breakdown. Yeah.
For sure. And just to paint a picture in the people's minds here in terms of revenue, where were you revenue-wise when you first joined us compared to where you are today?
When I first joined, it was probably in January. I remember it was the first sales call of the whole year. It was like 9 a.m. January 4th. With it was like the first call. Because I'd wanted to join actually the year before, and I was probably at around, it was up and down, but average around 10
Mhm.
back then. Yeah, in January.
Yeah. And where are you today?
In October, we did 120 cash over like 150, 170 revenue. So
There we go. So that's
yeah.
for people watching, that's about 10 months of work. Just exploded the revenue there. And now we're going to dive in a bit deeper. We're not going to end the interview there. But yeah, Otavio, for people watching, why don't you sort of explain just the early stages, to be honest. What made you join the program to begin with? What were you struggling with in your business that you needed additional help with? Because you were already at a decent point, to be fair, at that 10K mark. I know you said it wasn't consistent, but what were the key issues you were facing?
I think it was just knowing how to predictably sign clients. I knew I had a good service. I now realize I didn't have the best model, but I knew I had a good service. I'd had a lot of success with one client where I did more of a partner type role. And I was like, okay, well, what if I could get five others of these guys or 10 others of these guys? And then I tried a couple things. I sent out a couple looms and I realized, okay, I have no predictable system. And then I stumbled across Charlie's YouTube, and then just started going through stuff and realized, okay, maybe I can treat this as like if I get a more systematic way of acquiring clients, it would make more sense.
Yeah,
And then I can scale faster there. So
yeah.
yeah.
Amazing. And when you joined the program, what systems did you lean on to give you that sense of predictability that you didn't have before?
For sure, Terminator looms. That was I've been running those since January, almost nonstop. So
Yeah.
those are sick system. Actually, cut that out of the interview. I don't know anyone finding out about Terminator looms. Keep it private.
That's it, man. Is that the only one you've been running to scale all the way up, or has there been anything else?
So I helped some clients implement some DM sorcery stuff
Nice.
back when I was doing the other model, but that's pretty much it. That was never consistent. And so in terms of appointment booking systems, that is the only run that I've been consistently running, yeah.
Yeah, nice, man. And in terms of the predictability it gave you, on average, how many appointments were you booking per day with the system once you got it up and running?
So back in the day, it would vary, but I was booking a solid like I didn't need much because it was more the partner type role. So back then it was like maybe 1 to 3 that I was booking, but that's all I kind of wanted. I wasn't super
Yeah.
sure. But recently it's been ridiculous. Like in October I had a day, and I'm not even joking. Off of Terminator Looms, I booked 28 meetings
Yeah.
on one day. It was like a random Wednesday. I was like October, like yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
It's averaging like 18 a day now. So
Yeah, and for people watching, obviously majority of the SMMA world will know what looms are. But for those of you that don't, it's basically a video strategy sent out via cold email. So, Otavio, you can let them know, is cold email dead for you with what you've got going on right now?
it is most certainly not dead. Yeah.
There you go. Because
Well,
yeah, I've seen that recently. It was like, oh, cold outreach is dead. Cold. It's like, no, it's not. You just don't know how to do it properly. So there you go, man. Amazing stuff. Talk to me about the two separate models, Otavio, because that would be good to get into. So I know we spoke about, briefly just before recording about the shift you made. Talk to me about the model you were running when you joined the program, and then how the model looks now after you've made the recent shift based on the advice you got in the mastermind, because that'd be good to understand the difference and what really exploded the business.
yeah, so before I was doing this model where basically I would take like a small upfront setup fee, like
Yep.
2 to 4.5K, and
Hmm.
then I would just take a percentage of revenue. I would essentially partner with experts online and then build out their whole like marketing and that side of things and help them be able to make more money from that. They would just do the content side of things. And it was a model that was kind of popularized at the time, but I'd been doing it from before. It's how I got my first ever client and honestly current kind of business partner at this point. And that wasn't it was very unpredictable, and it was very much like um I wasn't working with necessarily with I was doing done for you, and it wasn't working with business owners, and they weren't business minded. It was very difficult to be able to get consistent predictable results as well for them because it was all going off of organic audience. And so I was just a bit confused as to what to do. Like as soon as I would start to scale with one client, the next would drop, and it wasn't making that much sense. And we were doing so much for them, and feeling like, and they were still feeling like we were taking a big percentage of their business. So that was kind of the old model. Still worked decent. Like I still scaled a bit, and I still got a bunch of meetings booked in, and was able to take calls and sign clients with the systems that I had in EasyGrow. But
Yeah.
I even used to cross my mind like, oh, imagine like even back when I was doing like 1 to 2 appointments a day, I was like, oh, what if I just sold like, what if it was just like 5K and I didn't have to do anything after? So the thought was always there. Thought was always there. Like, oh, imagine if I was just like instead of a 3K setup, it was 5K, and then I just didn't have to do anything. But anyways, then I joined the mastermind in August, and I'm so grateful I did as well. Honestly, both EasyGrow and the mastermind have been probably best investments in my life. Um, yeah, I've paid you guys a lot of money, and I still feel like I've scammed you guys.
No, no, you're all right, bro.
So anyways, what was I say? Oh yeah, so then I joined the mastermind, and I just needed clarity on decisions like that. And it was one of the things I told Brunker on the sales call, was just like, okay, yeah, I just need clarity on like what to go down now, because I'm very much like willing to put in the work. I just don't wake up and know exactly what the model is going to be. And then I made that post where I just explained my situation. Charlie and
Yep.
Bo both said the same thing. Go ahead, and you've got testimonials, you've got proof. Go ahead and launch some sort of more consulting type program. So I spent the next 4 weeks building that out. I basically called up the my partner who'd been the original client that I'd scaled up, who had a couple million followers, and I was like, hey man, can you come in and teach how to grow the audience? And I'll basically just teach how to be able to monetize and give our systems for monetizing, all the funnels, all that side of things. Um, and then we just run up this Terminator Loom system like 3 times the outreach. I use more social proof, just do that. And so literally like had multiple like uh sleepless nights. I'd never done that even in school or anything like that. I'd never not slept. I didn't sleep at night for the first time, because it was like when I was building out the Terminator Loom like 3 times the outreach, and when I was like building out the program, I just did not sleep. I was like, I have to get this done. And then yeah, launched, and it did extremely well. So it was very much worth it. Now obviously wanting to bring more stability and all that, push it up and get to the next level. Yeah.
Yeah, amazing stuff, man. And yeah, just to like just to remind people, I mentioned it at the start, but we literally saw Otavio's win pop in the middle of a meeting. And we're like, what the hell? It stopped the meeting completely, and we had to pause and look at what's going on here. So yeah, that's amazing stuff, man. I want to speak about the first model in terms of deliverables and like what were you actually doing that was like a headache for the Otavio compared to what you're doing now? Like, were you just doing the funnels for them? You're trying to help them with the sales and they're just not executing? Talk to me about the deliverable side of things in the old model. And then we can get into a bit more detail about how the new model looks and how much smoother that is.
Yeah, I think it was like I would just do everything done for you on the back end. So it was even I would even sometimes hop on sales calls for them. I would do all the
Wow.
funnels done for you. And then it was very much like they weren't business minded. So it was very slow on their part. I relied a lot on them. Like for example, if we're going ahead and filming VSLs, it was like unclear who
Ah,
was going
okay.
to edit the
Yeah.
VSLs, and it was I was just thinking back now, it's really is a bit of a nightmare, but you have
Yeah.
to go through those times. And yeah, it's just it's just doing everything done for you. They were expecting a lot, and then if anything goes wrong, they blame it all on you. And then when stuff starts to go right, it's like, why do you have such a big percentage of my business?
That's how the done for you sometimes goes. So
Yeah.
with this new model, just to give people a perspective of it, how do the deliverables look now where you're obviously making way more, but you're doing a lot less,
Yeah.
which is something that even yourself probably would when you first came across this, you're struggling to process. How am I going to make more whilst doing less? That doesn't make sense. So talk to me about the deliverables on, the do-it-yourself model, right? Where you've got the course now, you're making more money at the same time you're working less, but clients are still getting results. What's that package like?
Yeah. So basically, what we did is we pretty much just packaged the systems and the knowledge that we used to be able to. And when I say we, I see myself and my business partner, who was my original client, like my first client that I worked with, who over the 2 years that we kind of worked with each other, where I was doing the back end stuff for him, he was just posting content. He scaled to like from pretty much zero to like between 50 to 100K a month and having millions of followers in a pretty tough niche. Like he was selling to like 13 to 17-year-olds how to improve in football.
Yeah. Yeah.
So basically he was able to monetize his passion there essentially, like, and there's a lot of creators on YouTube trying to do that. And so what we did was like, okay, well, the immediate idea was like, okay, what if I partner with him? It becomes a whole lot stronger of an offer if I bring him in to teach people how to grow the audience. And then I give all the systems we have for funnels, like our pre-built funnels, our understanding of marketing in the back end, that these creators, these experts, they need to know anyway. So I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I'll just give that to them. Um, and and then basically just our entire business. That's oftentimes how I describe it. Just like the entire business, all the SOPs, all the structures, how to, for example, for him on his side, he goes over like how to hire an editor, how to hire editors, thumbnail designers, his understanding of the algorithm, like 2 hour videos that try to, come close to EasyGrow in terms of like the depth, but still not there. We're definitely building out a V2 for it, but
Yeah.
yeah, just really going in depth on that process, and then adding in calls every week as well. But obviously small group calls, and then having a community, and basically just giving them the system so that they have some sort of clarity on how they can build their audience, and it's not such like luck. A lot of times they feel like it's a bit of luck, and then also they have the marketing and understanding of marketing and sales on the back end to be able to actually make money from the audience that they're building, and
Yeah.
then be able to ultimately switch over to doing this more full time or make it a significant income stream. So that's really what we help people do now. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
Amazing, man. And in terms of like time spent on your end, like once they get the course, are you still jumping in their businesses, taking sales calls, fixing funnels, anything like that?
No, man, it's like it's a call, like a consulting call that we do in small groups, obviously, like
Yeah.
twice a week. I do it twice a week, I still do it. And then maybe like 30 minutes a day on the actual community, probably less, honestly. Um yeah, and it's been awesome. Like I filled my first client success interview yesterday, which was just a
Oh,
guy who
nice.
came in. and just had insane results as well. And it literally been 2 weeks because obviously I launched it like a month ago, but he had insane results in 2 weeks. And I was like, oh well, Nora asked me. I should maybe ask one. I should use
Yeah,
this good, you know. So and he said yes, so it was great. And I've got another one lined up tomorrow, so it's good that people still getting results too. So
yeah, that's amazing stuff, man. And in terms of like the sales process, obviously in your mind, I'm wondering before you went down the course route, did you have any limiting beliefs around the sales side of things where you're like, oh, it's going to be harder to sell because I'm not doing it for them? Or was it something that you had full confidence in going in where it's like, right, this is going to be easy to sell, let's get cracking?
I don't know. To be honest, I was like, okay, I know this can sell. I know this can work. Let's just see. And that was pretty
Yeah.
much it. And at first, it was literally selling like air because the program hadn't been built yet, and I didn't have anything. I just had like a Trello board. I was
Yeah,
pitching a
yeah, yeah.
Trello board, and then when the first guy bought on a pretty much one call close a Trello board off of a cold email, I was like,
That's
at
when you
full
knew.
price, for full price. I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. That's pretty sick. And I remember I would just call my friend who built out the kind of building your
Yeah.
audience side of things, and I would call him after each close and he'd be like, damn, okay, wait, this really works. Like slowly, so to eventually I didn't call him because it's just like we're closing consistently. Um, and then I was like, okay, wow, this does work. So I think it was more so like I knew it could work. Um, and then I just kind of did it. And I was just like, okay, I have to do this. So I'm just gonna do it. I don't even know if I sat there and thought about like, oh, is this going to sell or not? I was like, this kind of makes sense if I just like it's the same thing, but
Yeah.
I'm making it stronger by also helping them build their personal brand instead of just monetize it. And and I'm like positioning it as giving the systems that we use. It makes sense. Like I could see
Yeah.
why someone could, like it made sense for me, and I was just like, okay, let me just go do it and then see how it goes.
Yeah, there we go. And just to reiterate, like to the people watching this, this isn't even the finalized version of your product. It's version one. And
Yeah.
you've scaled it to this point. And you've still got version two, version three, version four coming.
Yeah, no, exactly. I'm like planning. I have to get myself off of sales calls. And then yeah, I've got to get myself off a sales call and then just spend like a year building the greatest product on earth. So
Yeah.
gonna just do that, lock myself in a room for just a year. Obviously still run everything, but just build out a really, really good product that we can get to like a lot higher numbers with.
Yeah.
But it's obviously a process now because stuff happens so fast. It's like obviously now you're naturally gonna hit some points where it's like, okay, you gotta like stabilize and like I'm working with closers. It's like, yeah, um, more money, more problems. So
Yeah, there we go. New problems, positive problems is what
yeah,
I
I know it's good,
mean.
it's good, it's good. It is. Yeah.
There we go, man. Great stuff. So in terms of like the time you freed up by not being involved in the fires and doing doing sales call for clients, fixing their stuff and whatnot. I'm assuming all that time goes towards either sales calls or the minimal time you have left over building the product.
Yeah. So I spent the 4 weeks building the product and then I would just do a couple sales calls in the afternoons in the pre-launch. And then when I fully launched it, now I just pretty much do sales calls. Um, and it's still like I'm in that transitionary period where I'm about to reach like the true nirvana, which is when you're off sales calls. But that is the most important transition there, and I don't want to
Yep.
mess it up because I my new standard is 100. Like
Yep.
I cannot dip below that. And so I just want to really make sure I do it in the right way. So I haven't, but like, yeah, I was doing a lot of sales calls, but it just made a lot of sense. Like I was making a lot more than before. It's just, I was like, okay, I can
Yep.
just prove this offer and then I can get closes on it, which is what I'm doing now. Then once I do that, then it's back to where I was before, but making 10 times more. So it's like, okay, it's
Yeah,
good,
that's
you
it.
know?
Now, Tavi, I want to touch on that because there's a lot of people in the business space, especially a lot of beginners that feel like they can jump into like the SMMA space, the agency space, and think, right, I'm going to pick a service and I'm going to outsource it. I'm going to outsource fulfillment, outsource sales, outsource appointment setting, etc., etc. I'm obviously speaking to you, and I know for a fact that you've gotten your hands dirty with Terminator Loom, with fulfillment for your clients with sales calls, and now it's caused you to be in the position that you are in, not because you outsource things, you understood and you actually executed on things before you even think about outsourcing. Talk to me about how important that was in your success because again, we're in a climate where people just want to come in, outsource the work, whereas you're obviously one of the many that have succeeded that actually got their hands dirty and to this day are still getting their hands dirty without outsourcing too soon. So I'd love to hear your perspective on that in how important it is to do the work yourself before even letting go.
Honestly, man, I just follow what Charlie and Bo say, what you guys
Yep.
say. Like I just whatever it is, if it's like I just look at what you guys say, and for example, with the in the mastermind that Brunker and you guys are talking about, okay, you want to get us to a certain point before you outsource sales, then this
Yep.
is the process for outsource. I just follow that. Like I've just and then it's worked out. So I really do just follow that, and I think it makes a lot of sense. Like you've got to prove the system first, make sure it works first, face that resistance, even because I know a lot of people after this first month would have maybe just completely hired out to sales reps and had a big dip in revenue. But like I've got to stay in there, make sure or like stabilize everything. Um, but honestly, it all comes down from just having you guys, and I literally just like follow what you say. Like same with
Yeah.
like I don't know, community management as well. I was about to go hire my like the guy who was doing fulfillment, like the head of fulfillment for the previous kind of model that I was using to just take calls and all that, but it was like then I saw Charlie saying like, no, you don't do that until like you're at consistent 200K a month or something along those lines. And I was like, oh, okay, no, well, I'm not going to do that. I just follow it. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, if I'm going to actually try to do this, if I'm going to pay all this money, I'm going to follow it. Like I'm
Yeah.
going to actually listen to what you guys say. And it's worked out. So it was the same kind of reasoning with switching to the program. It was like I had a lot of limiting beliefs around it of like, can I really do that? Does it make sense? If you really think about it, I'm selling like a coaching slash consulting program off of cold email. Everyone in their right mind would tell you that you cannot scale that to 0 to 100K in a month. Um, Off of cold email. Like, like, no, it's a coaching program. You have to build this relationship and you've got to blah, 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 blah.
Ads and all the inbound
Yeah.
fancy stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and do these, yeah, it's got to be personal brand, and it's got to like they've got to like subscribe to your newsletter, and then I'm just like, completely cold traffic. So it was yeah, or spend a bunch of money on ads, which is a cool part about Terminator Looms. I maybe spent like 3.5 grand on Terminator Looms for the 100. So it was,
Sick.
yeah,
Sick.
yeah,
There
it's
we go,
ridiculous.
man. Yeah, the cold email's dead apparently.
Yeah.
Believe that if
That,
you
that that
want.
belief works for that. Yeah, keep thinking that I'm fine with it.
Keep doing that. The clients inside will continue to win. So yeah, amazing stuff, man. And you spoke about limiting beliefs, or you touched on it there. I actually want to ask you, how does version one of yourself, before you joined the program, look like compared to the version that I'm speaking to right now in terms of the identity shift you went through to achieve the success you have? And that's to do with any limiting beliefs that you may have. Obviously, you just mentioned any bad habits you had, all that stuff, because it's unlikely that you'll probably be the same guy you were before you joined the program to be the same guy that's now achieved the 120K mark, right? And going beyond that.
Yeah. One thing I've realized, no, that's true. I think there's definitely been a lot of changes, and it's honestly harder to recognize exactly what those are, I would say. But because I think one major one is realizing that honestly, it is just about doing the actions that will get you the outcome. I
Hmm.
think maybe before I was like, okay, I have to suddenly like completely transform who I am and do these crazy things when it was really just like I had to do a set of actions that got a certain outcome, right? And then I end up like just really getting down to the work. Like this is the work that I have to do to achieve a certain outcome. And I think that's what I did was just like realize that it was pretty much just putting in the steps, like doing a certain amount of work or uh certain steps that would achieve a certain outcome, and that's all I had to do to be able to get to where I was. Not necessarily like I wouldn't say even, I mean, I wouldn't say I've developed for sure, and I think it's honestly right now I'm having maybe difficulty to be able to know exactly what to be able to see that because I think it happened fairly fast. um but honestly it's more from the point of just like realizing that it really is. I think Alex Ramosi talks a lot about this. Like he used to have this problem with thinking like, oh, do I deserve to make X amount or I deserve to get to this point? But then he realized if he just put in the work, it didn't matter if he deserved it or not, he would get
Yeah,
it, right?
that's it.
And it was kind of like that. It was just like, oh, I just literally just had to take these steps. Um, and so yeah, I did do a lot of the mindset work though, which is in the program. I think I underestimate how much that change has changed stuff. Just because like, yeah, it's like it's funny. Like for example, trial by fire, from the mindset module. Like I've sent it to all my friends. They've sent it to their friends. It's like a viral video. Like everyone knows resistance and all the terms and stuff. I've yeah, it's it's I actually like that whole mindset module is like just becoming it's like setting the standard. That's another thing. Like I really honestly now thinking about it, really set the standard of like, okay, 100K a month this year. Like I have a post-it note written behind this. I have self-transcendence right here.
There we go.
So I did,
Flex the book. There we go.
yeah. I have used it. I'm very bad at using it, and I do forget sometimes. But I have it there, and I do feel like I've actually set that standard, and it like caught up. I
Yeah.
feel like
Amazing. And it's funny you say you don't use it. And it's funny you speak about Hormozy as well. I literally saw a tweet from him the other day, and he said like you don't need to look at your goals if you if you're obsessed with them. And his point was
yeah,
thinking about them every
yeah,
so it's not like
yeah.
go in the booklet and read it. So yeah, love that, man. One thing I failed to touch on was your how your business structure looks, Otavio, in terms of like team members and any admins members you've got going on. So how many people are involved in the business right now compared to the original model? I know you said it's you, your business partner. Is there anyone else with you?
There is in terms of like people we have. So we've got the all-star team running the Terminator looms, which are my guys, Hero and Ron. Shout out them.
Sharon Ron?
My all-star VAs, and they've got actually like one or two people who help them out because they do a lot of volume.
Yeah, can
They're
imagine.
just 24/7 on the clock. So they're beasts. They do the that system. Then I've got myself, my partner who does the for this offer, who's doing the more like helping them um grow their personal brand. And then we've got his cousin who also is our partner on my partner's old kind of when he was the football coach, which he still runs
Yeah,
actually. Um, and he is actually learning how to run the Terminator loom system and is going to kind of become he's going to basically I told him he's going to become a blend of you and Will Selway in terms of like because we need both right
that's
now
that's
and
one
there's no
unique blend, man. I don't want to
yeah.
think of that.
Yeah, he's like he's doing a bit of both
Yeah,
right now in terms of learning to cover those blind spots.
yeah,
And then we'll have other coaches coming in soon and or like just people to help out. But for now it's pretty much that. And then yeah, I've still
yeah,
got some clients on the because it happens so fast, I've still got some clients uh on the done for you side of things that were some more solid clients. And then I've got a guy who was my kind of taking care of the fulfillment for that side of things, who just does it pretty much all for
yeah.
me. So he's
Sick.
that's who else we have. That's pretty much the team right now.
Sick. What's the next goal, man? Let's talk 12 months from now. Where are we gunning from?
I don't know. I really wanted to say as delusional as it sounds,
Say it.
the big mill a month. But I do think that before I do that, I do need to build a rock star program. And
Yeah,
so, yeah, like probably I think maybe 500 is
yeah,
maybe the goal there. Then in terms of like spend a solid year, or maybe who knows? Maybe that's a limiting belief. Maybe I spend at the end of the year, finish sales calls, and then I spend 10 months building an amazing program, and then I go from 200 to a million in 2 months, like I did now. Who knows? Who knows, right? They've my beliefs have been my limiting beliefs have been broken there. So before,
yeah,
so I recognize, but that would definitely that's definitely the next big North Star, with the
yeah,
shorter term one probably being 300. Yeah.
yeah. Sweet. I'm gonna hold you to that. And to the people watching this, I'm gonna try and get this man on a part two because I know how busy he is. He's on back-to-back calls or every day. So I'm very grateful that I got him in this morning for this one at least. So yeah. Um very simple question to you, Octavio, as we slowly wrap up the interview. Very simple question. Joined the program at 10K, up and down, when things were going well. Like you said, you're all over the place in terms of fulfillment because clients couldn't handle their business. You have to step in and fix things, sales calls, funnels, all that stuff, right? Now you're in a position where you broke the 120K mark. You're working less in the sense that you're not fulfilling for clients and they're succeeding way more and you're making more as a result. I simply want to ask you, how does it feel and how has life changed? Because now you're in a great position where it seems like you got controllable chaos in the sense that all you're focusing on is product development and sales calls. So just talk to me, man. Would love to know.
Yeah, I mean, it feels good. It definitely, it was a very painful year up until that point, of just like not quite knowing why I wasn't getting the results and feeling like, when am I gonna get fast results? And then it just boom came, and it was like, it came fast in terms of like the results. So it was like, I don't know. I didn't even know. It just felt really good. I was just, and there was multiple times where I sat there after a call and I was just like, and they just like piffed immediately, and I was just sitting there like, what what's going on? Like, I don't know. It was just pretty cool to see. And that was like the 100K a month was such a big goal the entire year,
Yeah.
and it felt like I was so far, and I was like, oh, when am I gonna do that? And what's going on? And then it just happened, and I was like, wow, okay, this is it felt really good. And then you also do realize that as soon as you hit your income goals, that they just reset to a bigger one. And we'll not get into that side of things, but like, you're never satisfied. It
It's
never ends.
it's like
It never ends.
your ceiling becomes the floor.
Yeah.
That's how it goes. So yeah, no, there's no Lamborghinis here yet. It's just the
No,
ceiling becoming the floor.
no, exactly. As soon as that thought came in, I hopped on a call with, and then there was just Bo there talking about like, your material desires don't mean anything.
I'm not.
Don't go buy stuff. And I was like, oh, she's right.
It's funny. I think I asked Bo about that call yesterday because I wanted to just rewatch the recording, and we were speaking about that. And yeah, it's funny you bring that up. Like that's the thing where I think sometimes you have the revenue goal in mind and you're thinking, right, let me splash, but then actually it's like, let me be sensible and continue to build. That's it.
No, 100%. That's really important.
Yeah,
Don't I live right now in Miami, Florida, and there's a lot of young entrepreneurs here. The
yeah,
moment they see, yeah, the things people would have bought if they did the money we did this month, it's the things
yeah,
my friends would have bought are crazy. But
yeah.
I think it makes sense to yeah, stack some. You want to do bigger and better things, so
Yeah, that's it.
stack the cash.
There we go. So look, as we wrap up the interview, there's typically what do you call it? Two groups of people that will watch this. Okay, first of which are current clients of EasyGrow and potentially some mastermind members actually. And on top of this, the second of which would be people that are on the fence about, joining our program. Maybe they want to think about it. Maybe they're just doing their market research on other competitors, doing their due diligence, all that good stuff. For the people that are already part of the program, be it the mastermind or be it EasyGrow, what would your key pieces of advice be, Otavio, in terms of succeeding from your 10 months with us here?
Yeah, just ruthlessly execute on what you guys say to do. Just
Yeah.
face the resistance of asking questions and like being vulnerable. And I don't know why I actually honestly have resistance to doing that, because it's paid off so much. But
Yeah.
like, this, whenever you hit a bottleneck, use it, use the program, use the mastermind if you're in that, and just ruthlessly execute on what is said. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
What
And to the people that have yet to join the program, what would you say to them? Almost as if you're speaking to your old self before you joined and you're trying to
yeah.
persuade them to get in.
I mean, if you're watching up until now, just
Yeah.
join. Like, what are
Yeah.
you doing?
That's
I
it.
mean, I watched like maybe half of one interview, and I was like, yeah, okay, I'd already watched Charlie stuff, but I mean, I'm sure there's people who come off of maybe some cold ads and stuff like that. This honestly has
Yeah.
been the best investment. Like I said, one of the best investments of my life. It's absolutely worth it. I use it as like, I was gonna continue to stay in it for. I'm probably going to continue to stay in it for the long run, because it's just, it is, there's no really other program out there like it. um yeah, there really isn't. I have not found a single one. So just, and it's always constantly getting improved.
Yep.
It's just, there's, yeah, don't I would not, look at anything else. I would honestly just pull it. And it really is about just stepping out of your comfort zone and moving forward with that. And this will be the best for you to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Where can people find you, man?
So yeah, I need to build the personal brand now. It'll probably just be Otavio Zerbini, Otaviozebini on all platforms, IG, YouTube. But I've got to build that out still. So hopefully, maybe by the time someone's watching this, I've got it got started. But yeah, now I've got to do the personal brand arc as soon as I've
Yeah,
finished the sales call side of things. So yeah.
there we go. There we go. So be sure to search Otavio's full name. I'm probably going to add it in the description here. You don't have the links ready, right, Otavio? You're still building.
No, no, I
Okay,
don't. I
sweet.
mean, I have like 10 subscribers on YouTube, so no,
All
have to
good.
build that up.
All good. Yeah. So yeah, keep an eye out for that, guys. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the client interview. Appreciate everyone joining us here. Like I said, in my mind, I'm going to frame this as a part one. And if I can catch this man for part two when he's scaling to the moon, I'll try my hardest. But yeah, hope you guys have found this valuable. To people that are watching this and have yet to join the program, I'm going to finish with my famous outro here. If you are someone watching this and you want a magic pill, magic program to success where no work is required and you can pay for something and the next day you go from 0 to 125K with no work whatsoever, and this program is not for you. I'm not going to be that guy on Instagram that you see that's going to flash the watches, the Ferraris and Lambos, and tell you no work is needed and that it's extremely easy and all this stuff. This is not a get rich quick solution. So if you are after that, that this program is not for you. And Otavio, you can agree with me on that because I know how hard you have worked in the past 10 months. So if that's something you want, this program isn't for you. If you do find the get rich quick solution, pop me a message on Facebook School, find me, send it my way. However, for those of you that are watching, that are willing to work, willing to follow a proven framework, willing to have the necessary support by your side, just like Otavio did here, and ultimately achieve your goals, whether you're a coach, consulting, or an agency owner, brand new or even established, and you're looking to continue to scale up, then we can probably help. So be sure to book a call with us. If you do have some hesitations around that, feel free to look at the other client interviews that we've got going on. I believe this is either the 85th or the 86th interview that we've done. So there should be 80 other interviews across different verticals that you can check out. And that's not to mention some of the other video testimonials and screenshot of results that we've achieved. So yeah, be sure to do your due diligence. And if you're willing to put in the work and follow a proven roadmap, then book a call with us and see what we have to have. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the client interview. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day and I'll catch you on another one. Cheers, guys. Bye.